Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again. It's been a couple weeks. Also, I recognize that my voice might sound a little weird to get cold, so I apologize. Also, the cat is just like playing with right now, so you might hear some little nudges as he decides to claim objects by, rubbing his face on it. Anyway, so I've decided that going forward, I'm going to try to have some, structure to this podcast so that I feel less lost as I'm going. So here's what's on the docket. First, I'm going to do finished objects, FOs. Then I'm going to do what's on my needles currently. Then I'm going to talk about anything exciting that's coming up, news, new patterns, whatever that I might be excited about. And then I'm going to tell you about what I'm either reading, watching, or just generally loving right now, just as something fun. And that's going to be the new order. Also, today I'll shout out that I am wearing my Until Dawn hat. This was the pattern designed by Rachel Brockman. Hi, Rachel. This pattern is super awesome. It was a very quick knit. I really love it. You should make one too. Rachel Brockman is great. Go check out all of her designs. Anyway, so this week I have a couple of finished objects. So I haven't been with you guys since prior to the Lehigh Valley Sheep and Wool Festival, and I've gotten a lot done since then. Excuse me again, I have a cold, sorry. Okay, so first, and I'm so excited, it's done! Here's my Escalation Shawl. Okay, it's really long, you guys. Boop. Okay, here's that end, just a bunch of the main color, and then it gets bigger, and then the fun pop of color at the end. I love this thing so much. I think it came out so well. Let you see the lace up close. Mine did not, I didn't block super aggressively, so it's not super airy lace, but you can see it anyway. And obviously I got the ripples. This was such a great pattern. It was not expensive. I want to say it was $5. And this was by Telly Bean Knits, or Stephanie Lotven is her real name. I highly recommend this if you're looking for a nice shawl project or something just a little bit right above super simple. Obviously this is mostly garter stitch, and you're just kind of working one knit front and back along one side so that it gets bigger as you're going, until you get to the lace sections, and then it gets slightly challenging there, but it's a very memorizable lace pattern. I didn't find myself checking directions very frequently once I got through it once or twice. Yeah, it's a great way to show off some pretty yarns. I saw some that were done in all speckled hues. I saw some that were done in all solids. Really nice pattern, you guys, and I highly recommend it. And I'm so happy with this and how it came out. And I've been wearing it a lot indoors. It's been chilly finally for really the first time this season, and I've just kind of been savoring that, and so I've been leaving the windows open and letting it get cold in my apartment, and then I just bundle up with my scarf. And actually my fiance Michael keeps stealing it too. I apparently am gonna have to knit him his own shawl, so he'll stop stealing mine. Last night we were both just having a lazy Sunday, and I'm knitting, and I look over and he's reading a book and he's all bundled up in this, and I was like, okay, that was supposed to be mine, and it is mine, but he clearly needs something to go around his neck, so I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, so that's one FO, but I actually have some more. Very excited. Okay, so that's the shawl. I'll show you another craft that I did. So at the Lehigh Valley Sheep and Wool Festival, I signed up to take a felting class, and it was needle felting, and she had you felt your own little pumpkin, and ta-da! If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this little guy, but I made this out of roving in about an hour and a half. It's not perfect, it's a little wonky, and it sits a little uneven, but I'm proud of myself because I learned a new craft in one sitting. So the teacher, her first name is Mallory, and I can't think of her last name, but her website is Mallory Makes. You can also look her up on Instagram under Mallory Makes. She makes these fun felted monsters, and also, oh, the cat's decided to join me after all. Thank you. She makes these fun, like, multimedia wall hangings that are paint and felt, and she incorporates moss and all sorts of fun things. But Okay, sorry about that sudden earthquake that was caused by my cat getting excited and deciding he needed to run away and take everything with him. Anyway, so Mallory taught us how to make these little pumpkins, and I was really excited to start needle felting. So I bought a little starter kit from her booth at the show, and so here's her cute little label on the front. It says Mallory Makes, that's her. So this is a felting mat, just like a styrofoam block, wrapped in burlap, and with it came one handle for felting needles, and 6 felting needles, which are just hanging out over here. Beep. Put that back in there because I don't need it, and also I don't want to accidentally stab myself. So if you're not already familiar, felting, you're basically just agitating wool roving and forming it into whatever it is you're trying to make. So I made the little pumpkin. I decided that working with just one needle at a time, like with this kind of handle, show that to you, there we go, was a little slow going, and so I went on Amazon and I got myself, I think the correct word here is a punch tool, but this one holds 8 needles at a time, and this was only probably like $10. It came with all the needles, so now I can felt more quickly by stabbing in multiple places at once rather than just one little bit at a time. And I got myself some roving, and ordinarily, Amazon wouldn't be my go-to for something like this, but I kind of wanted to go for a cheaper start to make sure that the hobby sticks before investing a significant amount of money. So for about $15, I believe, I got this sampler pack. It has, I think, 36 different colors. It's something like that, or 36 different bundles. There are definitely some color repeats in here, and it's just a few grams of fluff in each, but here's a good example. There's only a little bit of this missing. So I got myself a nice assortment of colors, and I'm looking forward to playing with it more. I've since kind of fooled around with my felting needles a little bit, started working on like a little sheep. I was kind of just freehanding. It'll not be able to stand up, I'm pretty positive, but if I ever finish that, I'll show it here. And I did also look up how to do wet felting on a bar of soap, and that's what I used this for, and had fun with that. Didn't felt it quite enough, I think, but it was a fun first attempt, and I would definitely do it again. So that's the felting. This is going to be my new obsession, maybe, or maybe I will do like one more project and then never again. You never know with these things. Some things take and some things don't. But learning to felt was not very hard, so if you're curious about it, I definitely recommend it. And there's lots of tutorials on Craftsy and things. So anyway, that's my little pumpkin. I would like to make some more little figurine ornamenty kind of things like this, so hopefully I'll do that, and successfully. And then my other FO, stay pumpkin, is my Candyman socks. So the last time I podcasted, I was talking about Lisa Ross's new ebook of sock patterns, the Socks of Wonka. That bundle is still available on Ravelry for $5 until October 31st. You just use the promo code or discount code WONKA, all capital letters, and you get 4 sock patterns for $5. So even if you're not planning on casting on a pair of socks like right now, I would definitely go buy that pattern or that ebook, so that you get all those patterns for the price of one pattern. It's pretty great. So she's been releasing the patterns one each week, and she just released, she's released Candyman, Golden Ticket, and Effervescent. Effervescent actually came out today. I just saw that in my Ravelry inbox, but I have finished my Candyman socks. Boop. So here they are. I went stash diving, and what I used is this contrast color is a Hue Loco yarn that I picked up at Indie Untangled last year. It is in her spun sock base, and the color is Funky Funky. So, oh good, you're actually seeing the colors pretty well. I really love all the speckles in this. Really love that. And then the gray is a Molly Girl yarn. Another one I got at Indie Untangled, actually. Her baseline base, which I think she's since discontinued. But the colorway is called Between Halloweens. And I really loved how these paired together. It's pretty similar to the sample sock that Lisa used for the pattern. The Hue Loco spun sock is a merino cashmere nylon, so this is super soft. And the Molly Girl is a merino and nylon. So these are super soft socks. Here's both of them. There we go. Proof that I did two. Right in a row too. I finished the first one and I cast on the second one right away. I'm so proud of myself, you guys. So these ones were toe up. I had to kind of reteach myself Judy's Magic Cast On to do that. Then there's broken seed stitch, and then you do a heel flapping gusset and more broken seed stitch. And there's like a faux seam that you set up on each sock. So this one is the right sock and this one is the left sock. So beep, they go like this. Really loved these. I got them done in 2 weeks. I definitely could have gone faster, but I've been a little busy recently. So I lost some weekend time that ordinarily might have just been knitting time. But really loved these. Definitely you should pick up that pattern if you like to knit socks at all or want to like to knit socks. Yeah, really loving this. So that's it for my FOs for today, and that does lead me very nicely into whips, because I did just cast on tonight. I bound those off last night, and I cast on Golden Ticket today, and Golden Ticket is the second pair in the Socks of Wonka ebook, and it is also a toe-up pattern. I will insert a picture here of what the pattern looks like so that you can see. It's got very textured stitch pattern. So I've just cast on maybe an hour and a half ago. And so I've not gotten very far. I just did the toe and I've gotten onto the foot and I'm just about to start row 3 of the chart, so I haven't gotten anywhere, but you can see that there's a bunch of purl bumps there anyway. Don't look like much yet, but it'll create a really lovely leaf pattern. I did not have a golden yarn to use, and also that's not really my thing, but I did have this, again, Molly Girl yarn, left over from the hat I made last year that was Eagles themed. This is also on the baseline base, and the colorway is called, ooh, I'm going to be mad at myself if I'm wrong about this. I'm pretty positive it's Don't Stop Believin'. I'm going to look this up right after this, and if I'm wrong, I will put in a note correcting me, but I think it's Don't Stop Believin'. Anyway, so really looking forward to these. I guess mine is going to be more like an emerald ticket than a golden ticket, but really into it, very excited for these to be done. I was looking forward to this pattern coming out a lot because I really like the texture and everything. I think that I have enough yarn. I do have most of this skein. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think it'll be fine. I might make them a little short just to be safe. So I will update you guys with my progress on these. And if you do follow me on Instagram, or if we're Ravelry friends, you can watch my progress as that happens. So because this is a part of the Socks of Wonka Cal, I've submitted both of my Candyman socks, and those are each an entry. So if you want to get involved in this knit along, you get an entry for every sock that you complete, not for every pair that you complete. The pair is a double entry. So I already have 2 entries in, and so long as I finish this one before the cal ends, I think I'll be able to have 4 entries at least by the time the knit along ends. And there's a lot of fun prizes. So if you like knit alongs and you like knitting socks, what are you waiting for? Look for Paper Daisy's group on Ravelry, and join in. She's also doing giveaways from entries on Instagram. So if you use hashtag Socks of Wonka Cal, then you could be entered to win. So looking forward to working more on these. I do have another whip. I've been very scattered with my crafting recently. Been knitting the socks, and also I cast on a hat and a shawl. I did cast on the Kensington Brixton lace shawl, which I was talking about in the previous episode. The pattern was not really clicking for me the night I cast on. I felt like I was kind of struggling to understand what it was telling me to do, which is probably not the pattern's fault. It was probably mine. So I've set it aside. I'm going to pick it back up. It's just sort of in timeout right now because I couldn't handle it. And I got distracted by felting. I cast on a stovetop hat by Tin Can Knits because I wanted to just sit down and bang out a new hat, because I really like to do that, just like do knit a hat in about 2 days. And I started it and I set it down. Haven't picked it up in weeks. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm very scattered. And then I started the socks, and I've mostly paid good attention to them. But what I've been working on yesterday and today is crochet. I'm hooking again. I actually started needle crafting with crochet. I learned how to crochet, probably like 2004. And I used to crochet chunky acrylic yarn scarves all the time, just constantly, and I gave them away to people, and I wonder if any of those still exist. And I haven't done any crochet in a long time. I learned how to knit in probably 2005 or so, and I've hardly crocheted since. I think I banged out a couple of scarves in like 2011, something like that. But mostly I haven't done any crochet in a very long time, but I've just had a very strong desire to crochet a basket. I've been seeing all these lovely crocheted baskets on Instagram and on Ravelry, and the Grocery Girls did some a while ago, and just, I love them. I love the idea of them. I want to make a million of them. And so I had to go back and reteach myself things like the slip stitch, which is pretty much as easy as crochet gets. I forgot how to do that. Had to reteach myself which one was the half double crochet. And I had never known how to crochet in the round, so I had to teach myself that. But I am working on a little basket. And this yarn is a Red Heart yarn that I bought at either Joann's or Walmart, probably in 2005, maybe 2004. This is truly ancient stash. It was in their, like, whatever they call their holiday line, hence the red and gold. I remember buying a bunch of like Christmassy themed yarn for making like decorations with, I think was my plan, and I never did it. But now here I am, something like 14 years later. So I taught myself the magic ring. I had to read instructions and then read a photo tutorial and then watch a video tutorial, but I got there. And now I have a nice little closed circle in the middle, not like a big hole like you see in a lot of crochet done in the round. Yeah, I haven't been at it for very long, but it's gotten pretty big so far. I'm following a free pattern that was on Craftsy. I'm not going to link to the pattern because I don't think it's very well written. And I don't like to speak poorly about people's things on this podcast. I just think it's not super clear, and there have been points where I'm not sure if their math is wrong or if there's something I'm like not getting. I've managed to make everything work. But anyway, it wouldn't be the best like beginner's pattern, I would say. But anyway, I'm gonna keep on working on this, and I don't know, I might put little like Christmas balls in there or something. Just make it be a little Christmassy decoration. I don't know. It's ugly yarn, but I chose to use this one because free from my stash, and like I either need to donate this stash or use it for something. So, and also if it wasn't working, I wouldn't feel bad for like tangling up nice yarn. But also because it's such a bulky weight, it makes for a pretty structurally sound, like a very thick fabric, which will help let the sides stand up on the basket once I get to the point that it has sides. So I've been really enjoying the groove of crochet, which is something I haven't done in a really long time. And I forgot how much fun crochet can be. So maybe I'll get back into crochet on things other than baskets. Also, maybe not. I find crochet patterns kind of bewildering, and there's just something about crochet. Like, I feel like you can just like stick stitches anywhere. Like you can just, I don't know, you can just work in like another 20 stitches and you can just shove them in there somewhere in a way that you just don't with knitting. It's mystifying. Knitting is my true love, but crochet is a lot of fun. If you've never tried crocheting, you should give it a shot. It's fun. Anyway, so that does it for my works in progress this week, my whips. That's all that I'm showing you that's on my needles. I do have that hat on the needles and that shawl on the needles, but there's not much to show, and I've already talked about them, so that'll do. Now I want to talk about some things I'm excited about. So first, I'm going to plug a fun yarn vendor that I met at the Lehigh Valley Fiber Festival, and I really loved them. They are called Skirted Fleece Mill. To read their postcard to you. It says, "We are a small family-run mill dedicated to providing quality processing services to farmers and artisans. The mill store carries its own unique yarns and products for fiber artists." So it says they sell yarn, roving, rug yarn, felted sheets, and kits. So they have a couple of their own animals, including a yak, which is cool. They're in Pennsylvania, in Millenville, PA. I feel like Milanville? It's spelled like Milan. I'm gonna go with Milanville. That's fun. I feel like that's probably in like northeastern PA. I could be completely wrong, but that's just the guess I'm making. They had such gorgeous yarns at their booth. I am on a very strict budget of, I have a wedding to save for, and so I did not buy myself any yarn at the Lehigh Valley Fiber Festival. I'm so sad about it. And what I'm trying to do now is just live vicariously through you guys. So go to their website, buy their gorgeous yarns, and show them to me on Instagram and in the comments and on Ravelry, and I will just live vicariously through you and your gorgeous purchases, because I can't justify making any purchases at the moment. But they had wonderful yarns. They spin and process their own wool and do the dyeing themselves. And I met the woman. She was really nice. And they have a line of sock yarns that are named after Harry Potter classes. I was dying to buy them, but I did not. I was this close to pulling the trigger on divination, and I was like, no, Kelly, the wedding. So I did not buy that yarn, but I really wanted to. And now you should go buy it, and you should make yourself gorgeous socks out of it that would be lavender and sparkly and wonderful. You should go. You should support them. They're cool. I can hear my cat meowing at me through the door. Oh, she heard me talking about her and she stopped. Anyway. Oh, there she goes again. That must mean I'm running long. I'll try to wrap this up. Other things I'm excited about. Rhinebeck, but I'm not going, you guys, and I'm really sad. Again, that wedding budget, decided to go ahead and surrender my hotel room. I'm sure it's already been taken by now. And so I will not be going up to Rhinebeck this weekend. Or is that next weekend? No, that's this weekend. So I will be following along on Instagram and wherever else and just dying of jealousy watching everyone else have fun without me. So looking forward to seeing everyone's lovely photos from there. I am very excited to see all the things that debut there. A lot of things go public right after Rhinebeck because they were publicized there. So there's a few things I'm looking forward to seeing after all of that. I'll just have to try to find myself some apple cider donuts here in Philadelphia since I can't have the ones at Rhinebeck. I'm really sad. I might make Rhinebeck a biannual tradition, or I'll hit the lottery someday and I can go every year and buy whatever I want. But you can't win if you don't play, so the odds seem really bad. Ooh, my laughter doesn't even sound like me anymore. This cold, you guys. Anyway, so that's another thing that I'm very excited about. I'm also really excited about my Knit Night group. Hi guys, if any of you ever see this. They have a secret pal gift exchange that they've been doing for years and years, and I'm newer to the group, but I did get into the secret pal swap. They draw names now, so I already have my person, but you don't do the gift exchange until February, so that if you are like knitting Christmas gifts or whatever, you don't have to worry about getting like another one done in that time. You have time after the holidays. And the rules are that the minimum is $25. It's like a fairly generous exchange. I'm excited about that, honestly. I like giving like a nice gift. I understand why in like an office setting it'll be like limit $10 or whatever. That makes a lot of sense. But I do like getting the opportunity to kind of like spoil somebody. So I'm excited for that. You have to include something that you made, or no, I'm sorry, something that is handmade. It does not have to be handmade by yourself. So you could buy handmade soap or something from someone else, but something handmade has to be included. And it should be related to, you have to include something that that person loves, which usually ends up being food, but does not have to be. And then something related to a craft that they like. And I think I've hit all 4 qualifications. Anyway, really excited about it. I've already filled out my little survey thing explaining the things I like and dislike and this and that. And looking forward to working on something for the person that I got, whose name I shall not mention. So that'll be a lot of fun. Something to look forward to over the next few months. But it'll be fun. And that's everything that I have to talk about that I'm looking forward to for right now. So, something that I'm reading, enjoying, watching, listening to. This week, I am listening to several podcasts, but I will talk about I'm Horrified. I'm Horrified is a podcast with two women who are friends, and they will each pick a topic that is something that frightens them or horrifies them, and they explain it to the other person, and they've covered some really broad, wild things, a wild array of things. So it might be something like super bacteria and the insane clown posse. Or what was a good one? There was a really great one on multi-level marketing schemes, and the two never like go together. It's not like a theme that they pick together. It'll be like two completely disparate things. They talked about the execution of the Romanovs, which is Anastasia, if you watched that Disney movie as a child. They're very funny. They talk about some interesting things. I've learned a lot listening to their podcast, and it's a great thing to have on while I'm knitting, most recently, socks. So that's what I'm enjoying this week. If you want to check out that podcast, it is an audio podcast, not a video one like this. And you can find that on, let's see, I listen through the Apple Podcasts, but you can also find it on Stitcher and basically wherever you listen to podcasts from. And that's all I've got for you guys this week. I hope that you liked this episode. You can leave me a comment down below. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram or on Ravelry. You can find me on Hive for that. And if you want to share what you're working on or what you're listening to this week,